in a time before the earth, before the sun, and before the light of the stars, when all was darkness and chaos. The old gods, the forgotten gods, ruled the darkness. But what was theirs now belongs to the world of light and substance. And the old gods, the rightful masters, are jealous, watching mankind with a hatred that is as boundless as the stars, with plans for the destruction of man that are beyond imagining. There's a passageway between our physical world of light, pleasure, and their spiritual world of madness and pain. A gate behind which the demons wait for the chance to take back what is theirs!
You are listening to Darkness Podcast.
Hey,
Hey,
how you doing?
how you doing?
Good,
Good.
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 Yeah. You feel
So
better?
we decided, thank you. Yes, I had a headache all day. My headache is gone. Now I just feel exhausted from having a headache all day. But it's gone.
Yeah. Good.
So we decided to have a movie night every month, right?
Yeah.
And I watched the movie last night.
What'd you think?
I have many thoughts, so
Yeah.
as we get through it, a lot of action, right?
Yeah, it's
A lot of-
so the movie we're talking about is Night of the Demon, 1980,
Mhm.
and it's a low budget Bigfoot horror movie, and yeah, it's definitely the malevolent Bigfoot who doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of action.
I loved it. And it's so funny. But I'm the type of person, like, you have to understand my taste. I dig low budget bad movies.
Mhm.
And I just get sucked into it. And
Yeah.
there's some I can't, obviously there's some that are so bad you can't even stick
Right.
with. But this one, for me, this was one that I liked. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. Like I
Yeah.
watched the whole thing. I can't do, so everybody knows, I can't do like really well done torture,
Yeah.
like yeah, but I could
I don't like that stuff either.
I can't because it's too realistic to me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is campy, so yeah, there's blood. There's lots of blood and interesting kills. But I can watch it. Like I could totally watch the whole time. You know what I mean?
It's weird what happened to me. I started really getting into horror movies as young as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
And so every horror movie I watched, it was just, I didn't care what it was. If it was supernatural, a slasher, whatever. But the older I got, I never got out of horror movies, but my
Taste.
love switched to supernatural movies.
Yeah, kind of
You
the
know,
same. I guess we grew up in the time when, like, we talked about the video store and all the
yeah,
horror movies, and we watched all of them. You know what I mean?
right. Anything.
Right. And
And
then as you get older, you like certain like certain.
yeah, I'm not a fan, and there's some of them I like, but I'm not a fan of the slasher or the new torture porn stuff, you know, where it's
Yeah, and when it's
some
really
demented
well
fucker
done,
just torturing people. It's not
yeah,
my
when it's
type of
really well
movie.
done, it's uncomfortable, right? It's like,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
But when it's a cheesy movie and with
yeah,
bright buckets of blood, and
yeah.
you can kind of watch it, you know.
Now there was one that, and like I said, there's always exceptions. I finally went and watched. I think it's 1980. A movie. It's like the rape revenge genre,
Hmm.
and it's called Miss 45. And
Hmm.
that is one of the best movies I've ever seen. And but it's one of those that's like hard to watch because of the violence, you know. But the story was so good that it.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah, what happened?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got really windy out, and I don't know if I hit something on my phone. I don't know, but I'm here. Hi.
No, hey, you're here. But yeah, Miss 45 was a recent rape revenge that I watched. That was
That was
excellent.
good. The story, yeah.
Yeah, but usually that's not my thing, not anymore.
Right.
Everything I watch now is supernatural, whether it's
Right,
a TV
right.
show or movie. That's what I'm into.
Right. So this movie, do we want to go through like the story? It's
Yeah. Do you want to do it?
can we do it together?
Yeah,
In case
it's just
he's a
there's
professor.
what is it, anthropology professor, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so.
And there's local legends about a Bigfoot, and there's been some missing people, so he gets some of his students together
To go out. Yeah.
to go out and search for Bigfoot, basically, like people do now. And
Right.
yeah, and they go out there, and I don't want to give too much away, but he's
Encounter.
definitely there. Yeah.
And what the
And
like?
he's
Okay.
a mean motherfucker.
Yes, he is.
My favorite scene in the movie, which caused the movie to be banned in England.
Oh, which
during
one?
the 80s. The biker pulls over to take a piss.
Oh,
and
I have a
Bigfoot rips
picture
his
of it. I
fucking
took a
dick off.
screenshot.
Yeah. Yeah. Bigfoot rips his dick off, and
Yes, he does. He bleeds out.
it's hilarious. Yeah.
But yeah, the movie does it. Like, so when like they go camping, they're out in the woods, they're gonna, look for Bigfoot or evidence or whatever. Yeah. But they're also getting told stories of stuff that happened, like the biker.
That was a nice touch to the movie. The flashback.
And then every time they tell the story, we get to see.
You get to see a different account. Yeah. And that was pretty cool. And it was really low budget. I think I read the budget was like $75,000, which is nothing for even a movie back then. But and they were trying to pull it off as a major motion picture, but it was goofy, But I thought it was great. But yeah, I liked it a lot. Really, it's one that I'd watch again.
And then they came across. So this is happening. We get to see. Oh, and I like the Bigfoot vision. Like, so when it's like
it's so funny. I was gonna bring that up and see if you liked it too.
I like that. It was like first person Bigfoot. So when Bigfoot's walking through the area, you see like this red.
It's like a circle with red exterior. Yeah. And I thought about it. I was like, what a good way to pull that off.
Did I lose you again? There you are.
Yeah, I'm here.
Ugh,
What's happening? Do you know?
I don't know. We've been doing good. It's really windy. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm having. Sorry, I was gonna say the bloody footprint was cool too.
Yeah, I like that. I thought they had some neat camera tricks.
Mhm.
You know, for a small budget, they pulled it off. It's great.
And then they come across this weird group of people in the woods, and there's some kind of
Yeah.
sex ritual happening, and then there's an
Yes.
effigy of Bigfoot. But
Yes.
Bigfoot's not there, but there's an effigy of Bigfoot. The chick's laying. They're chanting about spreading seed or something, but it's some skinny dude that's gonna get on top of her, and they interrupt it or something. It's some
Yeah,
weird,
it was a nice weird
like, what is this?
touch
Right.
to the story. Yeah, they were placating Bigfoot and worshiping him.
hmm And
Yeah.
then they find Wanda, who lives out in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
and they hypnotize her because she's a little off. You can tell something's happened to
Yeah.
Wanda.
And
she
can't speak.
Yeah.
She won't speak.
And they hypnotize her, and she tells her story to them.
Yeah.
And am I going too far? Am I revealing too much? No. Am I?
No, go ahead. Tell her, Dill.
All right. So Wanda lived in the middle of nowhere with her dad. When she was like 15, I think. That's what they said. She fell in love with this boy and whatever. And then her dad accused her of being a whore.
Yeah.
And right. Being a dirty
Dad
whore.
was such a prick.
Yeah. And her dad, like, for whatever, I don't even know if she did anything. But so then she, like, basically kind of gets kicked out. He, like, kicks her out that night or whatever. Like, there's all this stuff, like, she's a whore or whatever, and he kicks her out.
Yeah.
He's super religious and whatever. So while she's outside, I mean, she doesn't know where to go. They're in the middle of nowhere, so she's near the house. Bigfoot comes and has his way with her.
Yeah, he does.
And here's my brain. I'm going to share my sad brain with you. First, I'm like, of course there's a Bigfoot sex scene.
Right.
That was my first thought, right? My second thing was, as I was saying that to myself, I'm like tuned into it for a minute. I'm like, Bigfoot has no rhythm. Like,
yeah, he's a mess. Yeah.
I got zoomed in from it and I'm trying to catch his rhythm. I'm like, and then I go, oh my God, that's an actor. Like,
yeah.
The poor guy.
But I get it. Me and you from the very first episode have been focused on Bigfoot's sex life.
Great, everyone. We need a t-shirt.
Yeah. From the very first episode.
So I couldn't catch his rhythm. Then I realized it's an actor. So then I'm like, oh my God, this poor guy. Yeah. And then are you there? Am I there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I don't know what keeps happening. I'm sorry. I'll listen to it.
Yeah, it's okay. No big deal.
I don't even know where I stopped. Oh, Daddy took a shot, but Bigfoot was done.
Yeah.
so then she's pregnant
with a Bigfoot baby.
Yeah, he lets her stay there, but it's like you could tell she's kind of slinking around because he's trying to get her to drink like herbal teas or something to try to make her, miscarry.
Yeah.
Right. And then she had
such a fucking prick.
I know,
right? Tries to shame her because she was raped. It's like,
right?
Fuck.
And then, she's in labor, and I thought it was really interesting. Like, she's in labor, she's by herself. Like, Daddy's there, but ain't nobody helping her, right?
Yeah.
And she's in labor, and it's pretty tough. And all of a sudden, she looks at like the like the Virgin Mary pictures and stuff in the room, and she kind of tunes into that. You know what I mean? And then she
Yeah.
goes back to focusing. And by the time she delivers the baby, she's got like the blanket up around her, like, you know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
Virgin Mary, which probably was for a lot of reasons. But and then I took a snapshot when she hands the baby, because it's literally a baby doll covered in like
Yeah. It's great.
So this our vacationers, our Bigfoot hunters, they were told this because they hypnotized her, and they decide to go dig up the baby, because the baby, I guess the father killed the baby.
Right.
They dug up her baby, and it was like, what, it looked like Bigfoot bones or something.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
determined
it's
it
pretty
was
fucked up. Pretty fucked up looking baby.
yeah. And this pisses Bigfoot off, which I totally understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then everyone's
And
in
then
trouble.
yeah, that's when the activity steps up pretty intense. Like it's like that old saying, well, that escalated quickly, you know.
Right.
It's like from like 0 to 100. But yeah, it was goofy. I loved it. One of the coolest things about it was I had kind of forgotten about it. I remember it being in the video store when I was a kid and stuff.
Right.
And the print that was going around back then, the VHS, was really, really bad quality. You could barely even see half of the movie. And so one of the great DVD Blu-ray companies now, Severin Films, last year reissued it with a cleaned up Blu-ray, and I totally should have got this. They sold with it a poster and a toy of the Bigfoot.
Wow.
Yeah, the toy looked great. It's just like the big, and I really like the way they made him look in the movie.
Yeah, the Bigfoot's like very human looking.
Yeah, but he's
pretty
huge.
Cool.
You know,
yeah,
he's big and scary, and yeah, I think about it now. I should have jumped on that when they sold that, but not that I'm a big toy guy, but stuff like that. There's some things you just have to have, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think we should start watching and cataloging all Bigfoot movies.
All right.
Yeah, that should be a recurring thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
especially
on
the
it.
ones we haven't seen.
I am on it.
Okay.
But also it has a lot of like interesting kill scenes. Like, I don't want to talk about, I mean, well, we can, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't understand. Okay, like one guy gets his arm ripped off and bleeds out. A guy in a sleeping bag gets spun around. That's kind of funny. That was kind of hilarious.
That was good.
And it kind of lands on like a branch and like impaled on the branch.
Yeah, that was a good kill. I like that.
The motorcycle guy.
Yeah.
Penis ripped off.
That was my favorite. Some of the kills were almost like Three Stooges. Like,
yes, thank you. The Girl Scouts. He's like got a girl. Well, they seemed older, but whatever.
Yeah.
But he's got two girls and a girl in each hand, and with knives, and he's slinging them at each other, and they're cutting each other. That one was like, okay, this one's a little, guys, who wrote this one?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
this one's a little goofy.
Yeah.
And then like a pitchfork. There's like so many, lots of kills, lots of interesting kills. And now, of course, our character Wanda, who had Bigfoot's baby, is totally safe through the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
because she's not afraid. He doesn't hurt her. He brings her presents and leaves them on the
Right.
porch. So
Yes.
she don't have to worry.
Yes. Besides the rape,
Right.
he's cool with her.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really good. So, do you want to talk about the recent book you got? The Bigfoot one?
Well, it's
I'm interested.
well the one I said last night.
Michigan? Is it Michigan or
Oh,
Maine? Bigfoot in Maine?
yeah, Bigfoot in Maine we have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do you want me to talk about that story from memory?
Or no, just I'm interested. I really
I'm not sure how I keep losing you. Do I keep disappearing?
yeah, you just
I'm not sure what's happening.
I don't know.
No, I was saying we read so many, like we get so many books. I didn't know which one you meant. I'm sorry. Oh, I was going to bring up just really quickly. Last night I was looking at. I forgot. Like I had bought this book like I don't know a couple weeks ago at a gift shop, a local gift shop, and I forgot. So last night I was like, oh yeah, I saw it, and I was looking through it, and it's Strange Tales from Virginia's Mountains by Denver Michaels, and I opened it up, to Sheep Squatch. So I was like, okay, I'll read here.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, where is it? And I guess so. Anyway, so I open it up and there's an account at Fairy Stone State Park, which is down the road, down the mountain.
God, I love it.
I was like, what?
Is that the name of it?
What, Fairy Stone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now if I can find it, it's got to be right here. I hate when that happens. Here it is. 2014, a sheep squatch sighting occurred in Fairy Stone State Park in Patrick County, Virginia. Tina and a friend were hiking on a secluded trail in the park when they noticed something move about 50 yards in front of them. It was large and bulky and lightly colored. Moments later, the pair got a good look at the creature when it moved onto a rock. It was as large as a medium-sized bear with yellowish gray fur. The animal had a long snout and dark, round eyes set lower on its head than a bear. With this, Tina and her friend fled the park and headed directly home. Tina said of the encounter, "The creature is unlike any I have seen or heard about before. I made an inquiry to a local historian who laughed and said I saw a sheep squatch."
Wow.
Right down the road.
So,
and again, when you live in the country, you see all sorts of things. So you know what I mean? You know when you see a bear normally.
Yeah, that's one thing that's always killed me is people say, "Oh, it was a bit, bears can stand on two legs and stuff like that." It's like, dude, I've seen a bear. I know what the fuck bears look like,
Right. I mean, and when you live in the country, you see also like bobcats cross the road, coyotes.
Right.
You see all sorts of things. So
right.
you've seen things. So when you see something and you're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
It's probably something weird.
So it had a snout like a dog, do you think? So wow, that's pretty creepy.
Yeah, the sheep squatch.
Yeah.
I'll look into that a little more. I know it's been seen other places. Now, I will say, heading down towards the Blue Ridge, towards Floyd, there's some people that have sheep.
Yeah.
In the middle of winter, sometimes you're like, what the hell is that? Because it'd be like I guess they maybe let them let their fur or whatever it is, let it
Yeah.
grow. Maybe I don't know. I've seen some gnarly sheep up on the rocks,
Oh yeah, some of them are
but
pretty ugly.
still, it's not standing up, and it don't look like a man. It's
Yeah.
a sheep. It might look weird, but it's a sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
Wow. Yeah, I'd love to hear more
Very soon.
sightings from there.
Don't make fun of me, but this sounds really weird, but I feel tempted to like make a little like flyer that I put up at the gift shop. Like there's a gift shop and they have like a bulletin board outside and stuff that says to email any stories and stuff. Because I don't know, just because not that people don't use the internet, of course they do, but I don't know. I just feel like more people would see it. I don't know. I might do it.
Yeah. I
Ask him.
think it's a genius idea.
Yeah, ask him for
Yeah.
stories like the old-fashioned way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The somebody's trying to scam me on Instagram. That's great. Fucking jerk. Oh my god. No, I think that's a great idea. I've thought about doing that too.
Yeah, for
And
just like in certain spots, right? Like certain.
yeah, and I've been interested in reaching out here locally because I want to research local things.
Me too.
And it's
Yeah.
kind of, besides going through old newspapers and stuff, it's kind of hard to know where to start,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's a great idea. The best resources for that stuff are old people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's like, God,
Makes it-
yeah.
I will say here, and I'm pretty excited, and it sounds silly, but because it's rural, when there's like little stupid events or whatever, like back
Yeah.
in Maryland where it was busy, like there's a fair over here, like half the time you didn't go to half the stuff, you know what I mean? Because there's stuff
Yeah.
going on constantly.
Right.
But here, if there's like a festival or something, it's a big deal. People come out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Because there's not that many things going on, so people come out and go to these things.
and you should go to every one of them.
Yep.
For real.
The gas
Stuff.
station's going to cook out soon, and that we know the guy at the gas station. She's really, really cool, and
Yeah.
he like I know that sounds so weird. The gas station's having a cookout, but he also owns like a produce market and stuff. So the big, field and stuff behind his business, and he also sells local meat,
Yeah.
steak, and stuff. So he's gonna have a big cookout that he does a couple times a summer.
I think that's great.
So I think people go to it, and then you get to talking.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you should definitely let your freak flag fly and let them know you do a podcast about weird, spooky shit and get the stories.
Right, because I think everybody has some kind of weird thing that happens.
Everybody, yeah.
And you don't always get nobody asks.
Oh,
Right?
and then sometimes it's the thing with trying to find records too. You let somebody know, and then down the line they'll remember something, or they'll talk about it with somebody else, and so yeah, it's good to put it out there.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool.
So yes, we'll have a monthly movie night.
Yeah.
And now Shane has said we're gonna catalog the Bigfoot movies. So
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be an ongoing project, but seems like a good idea.
yeah, and I'm sorry I broke up tonight. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, it's fine. I don't mind.
Not sure.
I have a couple of North Carolina ferry accounts if you want to.
All right. There you go.
these are from the fairy census that you sent me,
Yes.
edited by Simon Young. Love this. And these are two modern accounts from North Carolina.
Nice. Okay.
The first one was from a female in North Carolina in the 1960s. I was 5 or 6 years old and encountered a little red man at a tree stump.
Mm.
He was about 2 to 3 feet tall, dressed entirely in red, with a solid red face, tiny white horns on the top of his head, and a red pointed towel. He looked like Santa Claus with a white beard, mustache, and eyebrows, but everything else was a bright Santa red. I was charmed by him and talked to him briefly before he disappeared. I went into the house and told my parents that I had seen Debelos, my childish way of saying devil lost. I talked about him for weeks and kept going back to the stump, but I never saw him again. I would totally do that. I'd keep going back, trying to see him again. I have wondered as an adult whether he was a Tomt, the Scandinavian gnome, gnomish red skin and clothing, small white horns on head, white beard, mustache, and eyebrows. Red tail with pointed tip. Short and squat. Did not hear music. The gnome talked to me and said he was lost, but was now living in the stump. He may have said he used to live in the tree before it was cut down when the house was built. Quote, fairies are nature spirits, elementals. Although the creature described himself as a devil, I was not afraid of him. He was happy and friendly, though sad about having his tree cut down. He really did look a lot like Santa Claus, except for the red skin, horns, and tail. You like that one? You there?
I'm here.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm pushing something. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know.
I love that he has horns.
I know. Yeah, that's a really good one.
That is, and that's like a more modern one.
Yeah,
right?
it's the 1960s, but they did this census about 10 years ago, and I'd love to know what part of North Carolina, but they don't say.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know we want to find him, right?
Yeah, totally. And here's another one from around 2010, female.
Uh-huh.
I was on a rock in the river reading while my husband fished up on upriver. I was across from a park, people walking with kids and dogs. There were 2 young boys walking on the trail with their dad. They began moving towards the water. When it started coming up, the river moving through the water towards them. It was pale-skinned, waterlogged looking with black hair and sharp serrated teeth showing in a smile. It paid me no attention but was focused on the boys. They were pointing at it with sticks and could absolutely see it. The dad finally ushered them away from the edge of river, seemingly unaware of it being feet from his kids. It watched them move up the trail with a creepy look on its face and then moved on up river out of sight. Did not look friendly to me. I have seen them since childhood, different ones, and was told that's what they are. My granny from Ireland says I have the sight like her. Quote, beings from another world that sometimes share our world with us and can have good or bad intentions. I love that line. I was always taught to never talk to them or let them know I see them. Yeah.
That one sounds scary.
That's a scary one. And he's got that, I recently been listening to more of the Dog Man encounters, and some of those are just so off the wall. It's like I think a lot of how do I say this right?
Go ahead.
I think a lot of those people are full of shit. But I definitely think
there are
those entities that who knows what they are, but they look like that. But there's so many of them that the one of the creepiest things about some of the more credible ones to me, in my opinion, is they smile. And
They do.
give you a shit-eating grin. It's like, that is scary.
That is scary. Yeah, I've heard some really good ones.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying. Like if you listen to things that are just about that, there's a lot of like, it's almost like the movie we watched. There's a lot of like campy accounts where you're not quite sure, like, is this just a story?
Yeah.
It's, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of it seems made up, and in no way am I putting down those podcasts, because I really like a couple of those podcasts a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And the one, me and you kind of have a joke about it, how I could not listen to the one because of his voice, and now I like it. Yeah,
it's good. He has good. He just has a unique voice.
He has a unique voice, and it bothered me at first, but now I'm a big fan. Big fan.
You were converted.
Yeah, totally. And he's a nice guy. I just, it's one of those quirks. But
yeah, but I know what you mean. Some of the accounts you're like, what?
Yeah, and in no way am I picking on the Dogman. We have no way of knowing what is fact and what is fiction. But yeah, some of them are kind of out there.
Yeah, and
all of it's out there, but
and as a creature in general, I think it's a little bit different anyway, right? And it seems a little
absolutely.
Yeah,
there was a really good did you hear the last episode of Into the Fray?
I have not listened to it yet. I was just noticing I didn't listen to it. It was like Kelpie or something.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
I'll listen to it tomorrow.
Yeah. And they the woman talks about her and her daughter having them on their property in Montana. And the different ones, and their Sasquatch. That was a really good one.
I'll listen to that. Yeah, I just noticed today that I hadn't listened to it, and I usually listen to it pretty quick. And I was like, oh, I still have that.
Yeah, and Zelia Edgar's on 6 Degrees of John Killigan.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to listening to that one at work tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll catch up on some Dogman so we can talk about it.
Okay.
I am interested in that. And there are some really good accounts. And there's always those accounts where it's kind of following people and stuff. Like that's scary, man.
Yeah.
That is scary. All right, do we want to wrap up our movie night?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The song, if you guys stick around and listen to the song, is The Rattles. And I would like to suggest that you
I missed the last part of that.
I'm sorry, I cut off.
Yeah.
No, I was just the song that I'm about to play is The Rattles, and you should listen to Romeo of Wade afterwards.
Oh,
they go well together.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll wrap it up.
All righty.
Good night.
Night.
See me running, I'm running for my life. It's the way I'm coming. Guess why I'm running for my life. Can you see the witch? Can you see the witch? Can you see the see the